Early in the morning. Hey, good morning. And I found another reason, if I didn't already say it, why they start early in the morning before everybody's awake. It is 9:19 on a Saturday. Yes, I'm sleeping in. Everybody in the house is on the internet, right? So I can just feel the bandwidth slow down to a crawl. And why I really do need to do 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Don't get as much live interaction, but it's okay. It gets saved for the day and people can see it anytime they like, which is one of the beauties of YouTube. Um, so I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master, Agile Coach, and this is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. And we are on our 382nd episode, and it's Saturday. Slept in a little bit, just relaxed. I'm like, it was a rough week. It was a long week. And we're here to talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way so you can bring value to the customer, get home in a decent time, not work the 60, 80-hour work weeks, and have a little fun along the way, right? And not go crazy. So what was I going to talk about this week? I don't know. I was thinking about it. But I put on, so I was watching, guy I like watching, Jem Jelly, who's out of the UK, and he put some stuff up. And a couple years ago, he used to put like, I don't know if it was Agile Gorilla or Scrum Gorilla. He's done things out on social media over the years. He's back out putting stuff out on a more regular basis. So I really recommend linking to him and LinkedIn. He's there. You can find him, Jem Jelly, JEMJELLY. He also has a YouTube channel, so you can do the YouTube channel thing too. I do have him. I did subscribe to him on the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum channel. So if you go to ours and you look for channels, I do, because I believe that there's enough out there in this world to promote other people and help them get along too, as well as they help you. They don't have to, but they can. So I have a bunch of channels in the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum that as over time I've seen some good stuff come out that's relative, new and fresh, some old stuff, in case you're looking for other materials to grow in the Scrum world or Agile world. So what he was talking about this week has been he's putting some stuff out, but lately he's talking about Agile coaching jobs and his interviewing of Agile coaches. And it just dawned on me I want to do some of the things that I've been interviewed over the past years, whether it be an Agile coach or Scrum Master, and where I have refined those questions, because I interview a lot of Scrum Masters and Agile coaches myself, and I reverse the questions on them too. So what I get, I use, and so on. So today I'm just going to share some, and maybe we'll do a couple more stuff like that about jobs and how to look for jobs and what to do. I think I've done a few episodes on jobs and how to find jobs. But we're going to talk about the burndown chart. I'm just trying to find out what's the right angle here for, I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Maybe that'll help a little bit. That helps a lot, doesn't it? Okay, so burndown chart. So I'm going to do a couple versions of a burndown chart, probably just two. Maybe on the bigger board, I'll do two there. I'll do one here. And what they see and kind of how I read them. So what may or may not be different from what you read. Mr. Edward, how can I help you? I'm in the middle of the show.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Are you gonna?
I need help after the show.
Okay, you need help after my show. Okay, so we got a deadline to meet, and we got a time box, right? So let's do the time box. Let's move this down a little bit here. Okay. I don't know what he's doing. All right, so burn down chart. We're back to where we were. So I'm gonna write a burn down chart, and then you all can kind of show. I'm gonna just show the bad ones or good ones and combination thereof. So let's say this started up at 80 points. I'm gonna start with this one was a good one. I'm at like 80 points, and it's a 2-week sprint, right? 2-week sprint. All right, and this is what the team does. Team does this and then comes down, and I'm gonna say like this is like 60 points, and then kind of goes over a couple days and then comes down. This is like 2 days, And this is like, I don't know, whatever. You put some numbers on there. And I'm just drawing a chart. It comes down a lot again. Maybe this is down to 40. And it comes down. And it comes down. And there, like that, right? So, so let's say it's the first / second day. And we got this big, 20-point drop. And then a couple days later, we do another 20-point drop. And then it's more stable. There's some more stuff in here. Okay. So we got that. So first, everybody might say, hey, we did really good. We finished early and we beat the date. So, a novice might say, or anybody, I'm not saying novice, some people, well, of course, they were ahead of schedule, which is good, right? And then, but here I'd ask the question. On the very first day, they dropped 20 points, right? From an 80 points to 20 points on the first day. And either they have giant, and so this is my, and then they dropped another 20 points a couple of days later, and then they have all these little small things, right? So what do I see? Of course they did early. They got this fictitious line. We all agree, right? This is just a fictitious line to give you a visual representation. That really doesn't ever happen. If it ever does, your data is fake, right? We all agree on that one, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you don't agree. You can tell me. So it drops down 20 days. So I'm like, okay, how the heck did the team get 20 points done in a day? Right? So this is the kind of question. So you see this, you tell me this. This is, I'm really suspicious about that. It's like, did they not get the work done in the previous sprint, and then it took a day for the product owner after the sprint was over, and they just pushed over work to the next sprint, and all of a sudden they got 20 points of approval because the product owner approved the work? Or was it all bugs that they had in the last day they didn't finish, and this is like 20 points worth of bugs that they had left over? But then my other question is, how the heck do you get 20 points done in a day? That's a lot of work. I mean, even if you did, a point a day, and how much a point, or a point and a half a day, I mean, that's a lot of stuff, right? So I would question what that was. Is that a sign of carryover? Now here's the curiosity question. So if you're in an interview, what would you ask? I said, you know what I'd ask for? Can you give me the burn down chart for the week before? Because I want to see if they let's say I'm gonna do a different color. I did blue. Can I do green? Does green work? I don't know. We'll try green. So the sprint before, it looked like this. This is like the week before, sprint before. Sprint -1. Maybe it went down here, and maybe it went all the way down to here. And this was the last day of the sprint. Something like that, where it went, and then they ended there. And then this work became that work. So this work right here came up and became that work. Is that what happened? But that's where you ask the questions. This is the deeper questions that you ask when you see this. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people asking this question have no idea what that all really means. They just say, hey, what does that interpret? Oh, we got it in time. Oh, good. You did a good job. I'm a project manager, and you are on time and actually quicker than we planned, right? So then my other question would be, okay, so let's say we ignored that and we got done earlier. Why didn't they pull in more work? If they're done, let's say 3 days early, 3 days. What did they do during these 3 days? Screw around all day? I don't know. Maybe do some process improvement. So I would ask the question as an Agile coach. Are they doing process improvement? Are they partying? Apparently my kids are partying. I don't know. I can't spell party. How do you spell party? P-A-R-T. Partying. Y-N-G. I don't know. Are they partying? What's going on that day? So that just shows one example of a question for a burndown chart. What's going on, right, in those areas? Now, do another one. So I did one when it got done early. And I'm going to do 2 on this one, right? I'm going to do 2 more burn down charts. So I wonder, we're at the 10-minute mark. So that was just one burn down chart. And I feel bad for the podcast people. So I'm going to talk about it real quick on that one. And I'm going to do 2 more on this one. So I'm going to do 2 quick examples. And just to go over for the podcast people, so if you can't see it. So they got the burn down chart. Number of points is 80 points times 2 weeks. I have the very first day it goes down 20 points. 2 or 3 days go down another 20 points, and then it kind of does until it ends earlier than the fictitious drop line that goes across. Then my question is, what I would want to ask the previous sprint burn down to find out where this gap was. Does their previous sprint look like it? They didn't finish all the work from the previous sprint, therefore took all the work that was at the end of the sprint and brought it into the beginning of this sprint, and then got it done because they had some bugs to do or something, or maybe they didn't get the PO to approve. I don't know. And then the other question is, since they got done early before the fictitious line ends on the time graph, what did they do for those last 3 days or last 2 days or whatever those days are over? Did they do process improvement? So I just wanted to go back and kind of reiterate that question, that point. Okay, so let's do another one. I don't know if we're going to have time for a bunch of them, but let's see. Here's another version of one. Goes all the way across, down, over, and then it comes down, and then the last day, boom. So I have a points up here, time on the bottom. The line, the burn down chart kind of stays high most of the time. A couple days into the sprint comes down a couple points. Then towards the end of the sprints come down a little bit, and then on the last day comes down a lot. So what's wrong with this picture, right? I think a lot of people have seen this. Stuff's just taking too long to get approved, right? Or they're not getting it through the cycle. What can you do to fix this problem? So this is identification. How do we fix this problem? Do we get the PO involved more? Along the way? Do we make smaller stories? I don't know. There's so much things you can do and suggest on here. How's the dynamics of the team, right? Is this, God forbid, dev taking all this time and we don't test last 2 days? Right? So maybe it's not a PO's fault. Maybe if we're doing all this development work, but we're not doing any test work until the end. So that could be the other one on that one. So these are the kind of things you can ask those questions, and what does that mean? Hey, they finished on time though, right? So from a project management metrics chart for manager of 8 levels above, they're on time, they got all the work done. But it was a mess to get there, right? So there's that. What else can I show? Those are like the classic ones, right? Let's say you had a real one. It goes down, down. What does this tell you? So this tells you that the team is pretty stable and getting stuff to the product owner for approval on a regular basis, right? So this one, and for the people out there, it looks like a staircase going down all the way down to time, right? So every day, every couple of days, something gets through the system and does it. So maybe that's a good system, right? And maybe you ask the question, then you get into the task level if you want to see what's going on. How do tasks look, right? Now, what I would be careful of, maybe you got to watch out. Maybe these first things are development stories, and these last ones are test stories. I notice a lot of teams have the tendency to cheat, and they do a lot of. I might get credit for the dev and dev done, and then test it later and do it that way. So they work their way through that process. So just be careful on that. It may look like it's really good, but it may really be sick just because how they write their stories. So when you do this, it looks great. you still want to read stories, right? You still want to do that. Don't let it go out, assume that everything's hunky-dory. It may look like, hey, we're doing everything right. The question is, are they doing it, and is it really done? And tomorrow I'm going to talk about done and not getting stuff done, because I have some confessions to make on myself for getting stuff done. With that, it's 15 minutes and 22 seconds in the show. Over and above our usually daily scrum. To be honest with you, my wife and kids and everybody are making a crazy racket for a second there and kind of distracted me. I don't know if you noticed that. Anyway, ring the bell if you like what we're doing, and have some fun today. It is Saturday. Welcome to Saturday. You made it through the week. I survived the week. Hopefully you survived the week, and got lots of things I got to do at home now that aren't work related. So hopefully you get to have some fun, and you all take care. And thanks for helping build the channel and contribute to it. And I do recommend go see Jem Jelly's stuff. Might do some more interview questions and figure out interview questions to ask people. I think it's kind of like throughout the show, but we'll see. All right. Take care and enjoy your weekend. See you tomorrow on Sunday. Bye. It's really slow.